Coming up next on Good Morning El Paso.
Very caring, very giving. He was a good guy. Friends to everybody. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about Adrian at all. Nothing at all.
The El Paso Police Department will lay to rest one of their own today. The latest on Officer Adrian Arellano. Also.
So we come out, hands up, and I'm telling you, I'm terrified, you know?
A SWAT situation unfolds live on the air at a Las Cruces radio station. The latest on the investigation.
And the 2016 presidential election is starting to take shape. We have the latest on its first candidate, Senator Ted Cruz.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Good morning, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Hillary Floren. Good morning. If you're just joining us right now, we do have breaking news out of France this morning.
An Airbus plane crashed in southern France with at least 142 people on board. We're hearing as many as 148. This is according to France's prime minister.
Hollande said there are apparently no survivors. The passenger jet crashed in the French Alps region as it traveled from Barcelona to Dusseldorf.
Local authorities are saying the crash location is not known at this point, but the area where it crashed is isolated and hard to reach.
And a lot of reports still coming in right now, but we're following it closely. We'll update you once we get any new information.
But for now, let's take a look outside this Tuesday morning, courtesy of our downtown camera. Hopefully we can get that up for you, but if not, there we go. We're looking at the mountain camera, and you can see it is still quite dark outside at 6:01.
But we're going to check in with Crystal and see what's in store for later today, because yesterday we had some breezes out there, and probably the same case again today.
Yeah, you're right. We are still looking at some winds out there. It is spring. It wouldn't be right without them, but we're actually talking wind speeds that really just aren't an issue compared to what we're used to seeing in March. Winds right now, 8 miles per hour in El Paso. Our temperature is at 56 degrees. In Las Cruces, we're at 49. It feels like 45 with those winds at 12 miles per hour out of the west. And a check on your clouds and radar map does show us that we're nice and clear to start the day. As we mentioned yesterday, those winds are coming in from west, moving east, and that's leaving us with breezy conditions. We'll talk more about how high gusts go today and if they rise in the days to come. It's coming up in just a few minutes.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Crystal. In our news today, a fallen El Paso police officer will be laid to rest today.
Officer Adrian Arellano was a father, husband, and to many, a friend. He spent 10 years of his life working to keep his community safe and supporting families in mourning.
In a tragic twist, though, he was killed while escorting a funeral procession. Good morning, El Paso's Denise Olivas is live right now with more. Good morning.
Good morning. When Officer Adrian Arellano wasn't patrolling in the Mission Valley precinct, he made extra income for his family by also working for S&S Motor Escort. And last week, while guiding a funeral procession, police say he hit the side of a car after a driver ignored another officer's commands to stop during that procession. Yesterday, many officers, family, and friends paid their respects to Arellano, and today they say a final goodbye. Officer Arellano leaves behind his wife Margaret and an 11-year-old son. The family spokesman, Sergeant David Cox, tells ABC7 that Arellano learned a lot from covering various funerals and felt that he made a difference.
Understanding their grief and helping them in some way, whatever way he could.
He was funny. He was just a guy that you could approach and friends with anybody. Very caring, very giving.
And now here's the information on the procession. It begins today at 12:10 in the afternoon from Mount Carmel Funeral Home on Zaragoza. It will travel north to Sao Kleinfeld, then west on Pebble Hills to Yarborough. The procession will then go south to Album before traveling west to Zanzibar, then south to St. Raphael Church. And from St. Raphael to Mount Carmel Cemetery, here's the procession. It will travel east on Ashwood to Yarborough, then north to Pebble Hills before going east on Loop 375. Then on Loop 375, the procession will exit at Zaragoza and make its way to Mount Carmel Cemetery. We do have the route posted on KVIA.com. Again, this could affect traffic, especially in East El Paso. So if it is part of your morning commute, police are urging you to be cautious. Hillary, back to you.
Thanks, Denise. To round-the-clock coverage now from Northeast El Paso. A man recovering this morning after being stabbed at a convenience store last night. It happened at the 7-Eleven on the 5800 block of Dyer. This is new video from our round-the-clock crew. Police dispatch is only telling us the man who was stabbed was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. No word on any arrests, but we'll update you once we learn any new information.
A SWAT situation at a Las Cruces radio station turned out to be a false alarm. Take a look at this photo we got from inside the Bravo Mike Communications building. Police say someone called dispatch claiming to have weapons and hostages inside the building located off of Idaho. This was the scene yesterday afternoon as the SWAT team was deployed. They searched the building looking for the suspect, but no one was found inside. The building was cleared and employees were allowed back inside. Police are now trying to figure out who made the call and where it came from. And while police haven't confirmed it for this case, there has been a rising trend nationwide in something called swatting, where pranksters try to get SWAT teams to respond to false alarms at businesses or homes. And just this month, rapper Lil Wayne was the target of a swatting prank. Police got a call from a man who said he shot 4 people at the rapper's Florida home. But when police arrived, they found no shooters and no victims. Other celebrities targeted by swatting include Justin Bieber, Ashton Kutcher, Rihanna, and Miley Cyrus. Police consider the act a dangerous crime and an expensive one, too, saying it places first responders and citizens in harm's way.
Happening today, the so-called Manhattan Heights rapist will learn the fate of one of his cases. Last week, Arturo Valtierra Payan pleaded guilty to 3 more counts of aggravated sexual assault and 1 count of burglary and aggravated robbery. These guilty pleas all stem from the same case. Last August, an El Paso jury found Valtierra guilty of attacking and raping another woman who lived in Manhattan Heights. The rapes in the central El Paso neighborhood happened in 2013. Valtierra was in court again yesterday for his sentencing hearing. He faces 5 to 99 years in prison. He's already serving 4 life sentences and 99 years in prison for the 2013 attack he was convicted of last year. And even more trials ahead, both for an alleged attack on a Manhattan Heights couple and other cases pending in Fort Worth. His sentencing scheduled at 1:30 today. We'll be there and we'll update you on our afternoon newscasts.
Conservative Texas Senator Ted Cruz is the first out of the gate in the race for the White House in 2016. The underdog is hoping to make early noise, stepping into the spotlight before others with higher poll numbers. ABC's Susan Solney has the latest.
Freshman Republican Senator Ted Cruz of Texas announcing his bid with the enthusiasm of a televangelist, aiming his message directly at conservative Christians.
God's blessing has been on America from the very beginning of this nation. And I believe God isn't done with America yet.
His formal announcement at Liberty University also sounded a bit like a conservative twist on the great John Lennon song, Imagine.
Imagine it's 1775. Imagine it's 1933. Imagine it's...
But what Cruz, a Tea Party favorite, wanted his audience to imagine was an America without gay marriage, the IRS, abortion, gun control, and Obamacare. Those hardline conservative views have many pundits believing him to be a long shot to win the Republican nomination, citing his combative tone as a problem. The Republican primary field is expected to be crowded. All but officially campaigning are former Governor Jeb Bush, Governor Chris Christie, former Senator Rick Santorum, Governor Rick Perry, and Senator Rand Paul, who told Fox News that the party needs to do more than just throw red meat to its base.
Ted Cruz is a conservative, but it also goes to winnability.
But Cruz thinks he has what it takes to win.
What I am so encouraged by is the enthusiasm that we're seeing, particularly in the early primary states.
Cruz says he's not worried about being at the bottom of the polls because he approaches every race as an underdog. Susan Solney, ABC News, Washington.
And we'd like to remind you right now that it is National Work Zone Awareness Week. Last year alone, 146 people were killed in work zone crashes throughout Texas. Well, TxDOT has some tips for us for driving in work zones. Of course, slow down and always follow posted work zone speed limits. Pay attention. Workers may be only a few feet from those passing vehicles. And be patient. Delays from highway construction can be frustrating. Plan ahead and expect the unexpected. A few of the things you may encounter include uneven pavement, narrow lanes, and vehicles that make sudden stops. And it just kind of is nice that it's Work Zone Awareness Week because we have so much work going on all around El Paso. We're talking residential and on the interstate.
Yeah, always got to be careful no matter where you are.
But let's go ahead and take a live look at traffic right now. It's 6:10. This is I-10 in Buena Vista. No problems to tell you about for that morning commute at this point. We'll keep an eye on things.
A Las Cruces woman said she's being bullied by neighbors and said she's even been threatened.
I just don't know why this is being done, and nothing is being done to stand up for the decent people.
She wants to know what she can do so that she can just live in peace.
And the first celebrity of the season's Dancing with the Stars has been sent home packing. We have a recap of last night's show.
But first, we're going to check in with Crystal. She's got a look at our forecast for today. Good morning.
Good morning, and the forecast still looks good, but will those winds change that? We're going to talk about it after your break.
Crystal, this is ABC 7, where news comes first.